Hello and welcome to the Northern Kentucky University video on how to report your co-op or internship using Handshake. The first thing you need to do is log into Handshake. To log into Handshake, you'll want to navigate to the NKU website. Then you can search for Handshake using the search bar, or you can select Quick Links and choose the Handshake icon. On the next page, you'll want to choose Student Login. This will redirect us to the Handshake page. Once we're on the Handshake page, we want to choose Northern Kentucky University login, which will allow us to log into the system using our NKU username and password. I'm going to enter my information in the system now. Then I'll select Sign In. Handshake is a really great tool that allows you to search for positions, connect with employers, and create a profile where you can highlight your skills, experiences, and courses that you've taken. Again, this video is going to focus specifically on how you can report your co-op or internship for credit. Once you're logged into Handshake, you want to choose Career Center. Once you're on the Career Center page, you'll choose Experiences to report your co-op or internship experience. This page will show you a list of all of the experiences that you've reported in Handshake before. If you've not reported any experiences yet, it's okay. This page will just be blank until you report one. You'll then select Request an Experience. This will bring us to the information page where we'll begin providing information about our co-op or internship. The first question is very important. This question asks us the experience type, which is which course do we want to be enrolled in. You will see that you can either click in the box and scroll through the long list of options, or you could begin typing the course that you're looking for. For example, if I was a statistics student, I could begin typing statistics, and you'll see that that option shows up in my list. Let's look at another example together. If I were a communication studies student, I could search for communication, and you can see that I have multiple options. Now, I'm an undergraduate student, and so I have the options to either take Communication Studies Co-op, CEP 300, or Communication Studies Internship, CMST 396. These two courses are different. They have different prerequisites and different requirements. And so it's important that if you don't know for sure which class you want to take, that you speak with your academic advisor before completing this form. If you select the wrong option here, you will have to start this form completely over, as the form is tailored to the specific course that you plan to take. For our example, we're going to look at the Communication Studies Co-op, CEP 300. We're then going to select the term for which we plan to complete our co-op or internship. I'm going to choose Fall 2021. Next, I'm going to add information about the organization where I will be working. I can type my employer's name here. If I'm going to be working for the Central Volleyball, then I could begin to type Central Volleyball, and I could choose that that's my employer and then provide additional information about them. If instead I'm choosing an employer that's in the system, you'll see that that populates some additional information for me. So for example, if I were doing an internship with Northern Kentucky University, then I could choose Northern Kentucky University, and you'll see that that pre-populates the location and the industry for me. Please note that sometimes what the system pre-populates may not match the location where you're actually working, as Handshake sometimes uses the national location or headquarters. That's okay. You can leave it with the information that Handshake has populated if it has done that for you. Then you'll add your employer's phone number, the email address of your employer, and then we'll move to the job section where we'll provide specific details about the job that we'll be doing for our co-op or internship. So first we're going to add our title. And for mine, I'm going to be a communication intern. I'm going to be working for Career Services, which would be the department that I'm working in. And then I'm going to select the date, my beginning and end date. I'm going to use the arrows to navigate to the different months so that I can select each of my dates. It then asks me my job type, and mine is a cooperative education or a co-op. Yours may also be an internship, and so you can select which one is right. If you're not sure, it's okay to select internship. Next, it asks for employment type, and my role is part-time, and so I'll select part-time. It then asks my salary, and I'm making $10 an hour, and so I'll enter that information now. The system would like to know your offer date, and if you don't know the exact date, it's okay. You can put an estimate of when you received that offer. Because you're filling out the form, we assume that you have accepted the offer, but you can go ahead and select yes here. If you wish for Handshake to go ahead and add the internship to your profile, you can leave this box checked. If you would prefer to add that manually later, you could uncheck this box. You can then add the date that you accepted the offer. Again, an estimate is fine for this question. Next, the system asks you to include your supervisor's email address. I'm going to go ahead and type my supervisor's contact information here. If your supervisor is not in the system, then you'll include their name, title, and phone number. If they're already in the system, then you'll see that it pre-populates their name for me, and I wouldn't need to provide additional information. In the General tab, you'll see this is where it begins to ask specific questions about the course that I requested to take and experience type. Again, it's very important that you select the right experience type. The first question for me asks, how many credit hours of CEP 300 do I wish to earn for my experience? I'm going to be working at least 120 hours, and so I want to earn 1 credit hour for my co-op that I'll be completing. It also asks if I've taken CEP 300 before. And so I have not, and so I'm going to put no. If I had, then I would also put the total number of credits that I had earned for this internship. On the next page, I'm going to fill in details about my job. I'm going to include my job title. I'm going to include a job description, which you'll want to type out fully. You're going to include the company website. And then you're going to provide the department where you'll be working. Now, some of this information you may be thinking is redundant, that you've already entered it. But by having all the information together in this general section, you'll provide a seamless review process for your supervisor and your faculty coordinator as they're reviewing and approving your experience. Next, I'm going to enter my start and end date. Notice the format that we want to enter this in. We want to do 2 digits for the month, 2 digits for the date, and then 4 digits for the year. We want to do the same for our end date. Next, it asks our estimated number of hours that we'll be working and what our wage or salary is. And again, my salary is hourly. If you're receiving additional compensation, you can add additional information here. The next question we'll be answering is, how did you find out about this co-op or internship? If I found out about this position through the career fair, but then also talked to a family friend, I could select both career fair and other. Anytime in Handshake you choose other, you'll need to provide additional information in the box that it provides for you. The next question asks if I've previously received course credit for this position before. Some students stay in the same role for multiple semesters, and maybe last semester I was in the same role, but I took the CMST 396 course. And so if that was the case, then here I would say yes. And I would indicate that yes, I had already taken CMST 396. If you've not earned credit for this position before, just go ahead and put no in the box. You'll hit next page to proceed to the next series of questions. The next list of questions asks us to provide information about our supervisor, including their title, their phone number, and then it asks if I'm related to them or if they're an NKU student. And then I provide the specific address for where I'll be working. So where is the location for that employer? Similarly with the city for that employer. And then I'm going to select the state that I'll be working in. If it's not Kentucky, Ohio, or Indiana, feel free to select other and type in the state where you'll be located. Next, I'm going to add the zip code for that employer. And then I'm going to put the country for that employer. And again, you can use other if you'll not be working in the United States to tell us where it is you will be working for your position. Next, I'm going to choose the next page option, which is going to ask me to detail my learning objectives. These are the educational goals that I hope to accomplish in my position. I'm going to provide specific details about the goal and then how I plan to accomplish the objective and how that objective is going to be evaluated and by whom. Since this is just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to put test for each of these. But it is very important that you fill out each learning objective. If you're not sure what to include in this section, we would encourage you to reach out to your academic advisor, your faculty coordinator, your supervisor, or career services. Any of us would be happy to help you think through what would be good learning objectives for you to use. Again, remember that the form that you're filling out is specific based on the class that you selected. And so the learning objectives section may look different for different courses depending on which you select at the beginning of the form. The next and final page is the co-op agreement. In this section, you'll be given a series of statements to review and initial, saying that you both have read them and that you will adhere to them throughout the semester that you're completing your co-op in. By initialing each of these, you're saying that you've read and agreed to them. You'll want to make sure that you complete this section, and then to submit your form, select Request Experience. After you've requested your experience, if you want to see where you are in the process, you can navigate back to Career Center. Once you do this, again, we want to select on Experiences, and this will bring up a list of all of the experiences that you've submitted, including the most recent one. You can see from my list where each of mine are in the process. I have some that need reviewed, and I have others that are being approved. I can get more specific details by clicking on View Details. Once I view these details, I can scroll through to see the information that I submitted, but also information about who will be approving my position and where it is in the process. So here I can see that my supervisor has approved it. This is also a good place if they haven't approved it, where you can see to make sure that the email address that you put in is correct, because sometimes we mistype that information. I can also see if my faculty coordinator has approved it, and in this case, I can see that she has. I can also look under the rationale for the student to see if they've provided me with any notes that I want to review. For this particular position, I can see that I'm waiting on the co-op manager to respond to my position before I'm enrolled or registered for the course, or given a permit to enroll in the course. If I had questions about when this would happen or about how long the process would take, I could reach out to this person. Now, I always urge you to give this person a couple of days to get the information entered before reaching out to them. But if it's been a couple of days, feel free to email them or to reach out via phone to find out where you are in the process. As you're completing your request for co-ops or internships in the system, if you have questions, please feel free to reach out to Career Services or your academic department. We're here, ready, and happy to help you. Again, this has been the Northern Kentucky University Career Services video on how to report your co-op or internship using Handshake. Thank you for listening and have a great day.